So you vibrate your potential, and because it's invisible to the eyes, we aren't aware of it. But we have an aura, we have an energy field, and we are vibrating our potential. We are vibrating our inner world, and that will start to reflect in the outer world. Um, Even if they did a study, they did a test, if you put like a seed in water and then you freeze the water, it will create the image of the plant. Okay, so if you put a seed of a certain tree in the water, it will reflect that tree back into the water when you freeze it as an image. And the same is with a lot of other stuff. So once you become aware of this, you start to understand, okay, so um, we vibrate at a certain image and that will manifest as our future. It should be our top priority to keep protecting our energy, keep protecting our aura, keep protecting our energy field. Because right now we are forced into a system that forces us to go to school, that forces us to go to work, that forces us to mix our energy in different places, that influences the energy which we are vibrating, that influences our perspective, that influences our unconscious mind. And once you start to put your energy, your inner image, your aura, your energy field like on top priority, and everything else will be secondary. Okay, so the inner world is priority, outer world is secondary. That's the moment the outside world will adapt to your inner world, because your inner world will become more clear. Okay, so your perspective will become stronger. And if you check the studies on double slot experiment, you will start to understand that everything's energy. So only once it's observed, it will collapse into a way into the physical thing you can see. If you're not observing it, it will be a waveform. Okay, so once you start to understand that your mind is collapsing reality, you also start to understand that it's the top priority, the highest, the most important thing you can do is take control over your inner world, take control over your energy, take control over your vibration, and start building on your inner world. Because when you build on your inner world, the outer world will start reflecting that. You don't see with your eyes, you see with your mind. So once you attune your mind, your inner world, you start to gain knowledge about certain topics, you will see reality with more depth. You will be capable of taking more effective choices, actions, and results. So you have to start to understand that only by keeping yourself in the frequency of the future you want to move to, you are capable of gaining awareness on the road to your vision. And then when you're gaining this awareness, you gain this understanding of these steps, you are capable of perceiving life with more depth and being capable of taking effective actions that will lead you to your goal. But if you are never allowed to stay in your own energy for a long period, if you're never allowed to stay in the right frequency for a long period, because you're forced to watch the news, you're forced to mix with a culture that's being programmed by the environment, you're forced to never have your own place, your own energy for a long period, because you are forced in a money system that forces you to mix your energy, that forces you to mix your future frequency. So you have to adapt to the vibration of the environment. So you become like a sheep of the environment. You become a tool of the environment, and it's all because of frequency and vibration. And we are so tricked, we are so brainwashed that we are not capable of seeing the real game that's being played upon the fake game. Okay, the fake game is the money system. The real game is the energy, the frequency, the perspective you are holding. Because if your perspective is strong, you see life with a lot of depth from your unique energy, from your unique perspective you've been working on. That's the moment the outside world will adapt to you and life will be very easy. Your actions will create a lot of leverage and therefore a big effect. So just to give you an example, why do some people beg on the street? They begging for money, they don't have any money. Um, their actions create very little results. And some people, a highly successful salesperson, whatever, just does like a Zoom call, a short communication with someone, makes a deal, makes his commission, and makes like 1,000 in an hour. And this beggar on the street would be making, 1,000 in like 3 months begging. What's the difference between these two? The difference is um, their self-image, and from this positive self-image, which is your vibration, which is your frequency, they build awareness in the right direction of the future they want to move to, and then they keep on taking actions and creating the right routines on the right awareness, on the right frequency, and then the vision manifests. But if this beggar isn't capable of controlling its self-image, it's not controlling creating the awareness, and therefore it's not capable of attracting the right opportunities and people to create this vision. It is stuck in the energy, in the frequency that keeps him stuck in begging, that keeps him stuck in the same routine. And you will think from an outside perspective, oh, this person is free, he's just lazy. No, his perspective is stuck in a certain frequency, and therefore all the opportunities are not visible to him. You can say to him, just get a job, but from his perspective there are no jobs, because he tried once or twice and they said no, because he stinks and he's not wearing the right clothes. But from your perspective, having clean clothes, having a smile on your face, you will just apply for a job and they immediately say yes. That's because you have a different self-image, and people respond to frequency. So only when you work on your self-image and you raise this, and that means, you're raising your frequency, you're attuning your frequency, you're attuning your inner world to a new reality, and then building awareness on that frequency so you can take the right actions, then learn from it, therefore implement it as routines become automatic, and then the reality will be attracted to you. That's how it works. But if you are stuck in a frequency and you're not capable of working on yourself, working on your self-image, seeing yourself not from a mirror, but seeing yourself in your own mind. How do you see yourself in your own mind? And from that perspective, start taking action with the right self-image, with the building awareness with the right self-image, and then your actions create massive leverage. Just to give you an example, I have been living as a digital nomad for 5 years. I've been making, sometimes within one day, like 1,000, $1,500 within one day. I was never capable of doing that in the past because I didn't have the awareness. The moment I started to change my self-image, freedom, evolving my skills of making money online, and just connecting with the right people. And at some point, I created the awareness, I created the habits, and from that moment on, I could take actions that created a lot of results in a very short period of time. But in the past, when I was surrounded with people who never made money online, it was like, no, impossible, impossible. You cannot make money online. You're dreaming. You're living in a fantasy. Blah 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 blah. It's just because they have a belief system, and one, they don't believe in you because they don't believe they can do it themselves, and they believe you are not better than them unconsciously. And secondly, they have certain belief systems of what's possible and what's not possible. But those belief systems were created in a frequency that was forced upon them. Okay. And once you are raising your energy, raising your frequency, raising your self image, start creating awareness of people who are living the life you already want to live, that are already on the frequency you want to be on, and then start taking the action, start to collaborate with these people. Then what was impossible before will become possible because you will start to operate on a different frequency. Because you are operating on a different frequency, you start to vibrate that future vision, and external energies, people and things will be attracted to you. And that's all happening on a level that's, invisible to the eye. So only when you attune yourself to the right vision, to the right frequency, big results will be possible because your actions will become more effective. And that's something you really have to understand. Make it a top priority to protect your energy. Make it a top priority to work on your self image. How do you talk to yourself? How do you perceive certain situations? Are you capable of being alone? Are you capable of holding the frequency of the future you want to move to? That's the most important thing, because only based on that you can create awareness and improve your habits, your skills, to make things a reality, live in freedom, and make a good amount of money without sacrificing your mental health. That's the whole point of life, you know. For me it is, you know, becoming the best potential of myself and living life in freedom. That's the whole point. So yeah, thanks for watching the video. I really hope you liked it. If you need any help, click in the link in the bio or below the video, and yeah, click like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Have a great day.